Here we are, the first full day of winter. Time to plant storage onions and walla wallas. And I'm at the compost pile and I'm digging down, and lo and behold, there's a patch of mycelium. Now several years ago I threw down some shaggy lapiatas. I guess they'd be shaggy parasols. It's a mushroom that grows here in the Willamette Valley pretty profusely. It's easy to eat, easy to identify. And I just threw some caps that were starting to spore out. Hey, go get out of there. Don't eat my mycelium. So I'm going to plant that in the greenhouse. And get you a little close up there if the goat doesn't get in the way. Yeah, just a bunch of it in the compost pile. Oh, sorry about that. Hey, goat, out of the way. There we go. And yeah, then during the spring and the summertime I get flushes of mushrooms, and yeah, pretty easy. Here's the greenhouse after the big frost. Well, frost, zero for about a week. That hasn't happened since the 70s here in Oregon. There's some chard and some leaks you can see, but I've mucked everything out, and now I'm going to go plant those mycelium. It's pretty simple. You just throw them in. Cover them with a little compost. But early March, I'll be eating mushrooms. Not a bad way to go. Okay, this is planting onions, take 2. It's my first YouTube video. It's a new camera. I decapitated myself planting a walla walla, so now I'm going to plant a overwintering storage onion, yellow. So I got one of last year's potted plants. Take all the stuff out of there, throw it in the compost. Clean up the top. Get off the top weeds, and then I'll just put this in my compost. I'll go down about a quarter of the way down this pot. A little bit of compaction is okay. I don't want the roots to go down too deep. I'd like them to just go down a little bit, so when I break this up to transplant, you know, I don't have to destroy a lot of the root. And then I got some amendments: seed meal, bone meal, kelp, and lime. And I'll put a band, give the roots something to grow down to, of fertilizer. Okay, now my compost mix is, you saw earlier where I was getting the mycelium in the goat pasture and the composts. I'll take raw aged compost, add some perlite, make it more friable, and then take my amendment mix, mix it up. This is just a 1/2 inch hardware cloth in a frame. These old restaurant stainless steel dishwashing sinks are they're pretty nice for a potting bench. So work it all up, and then invariably, another piece of mycelium I forgot, throw it in the bed there. Invariably you get some rocks, so what I do is I just switch it here, and then I'll go and repair my potholes with the rocks I get out of my compost pile. Okay. Now I'll fill this up a couple inches to the top with this new compost. And sprinkle some seed on. I like this 5-gallon pot method. It's a half a gram, it's not a whole lot of seed. But that'll give me some nice scallions to transplant. Oh, anytime through March. I'd like to get them in early March, all the way to April. They'll probably be ready by August, September. And these are long-term storage. Okay, so I distributed that out. Now what I've got is right here. I have some compost that sat in a wheelbarrow through the fall. The beginning, the first rains came and all the wheat seeds germinated, and then it got actually submerged. And it's an experiment, but the theory is that all the wheat seeds kind of swelled, germinated, and then rotted. So I'm going to top dress it with about an inch of this supposedly sterile soil. And I really don't want any too much nutrient in the top dressing, because then you can get damp off. You get all the biological growth of algae and fungus and whatever. So I kind of like to top dress with as sterile a medium as possible. And that's that. I'll put a board on that so it doesn't dry out too fast, and I'll take it inside and put it by the heater. Within 2 weeks it should be germinated. And then I'll bring it out to the greenhouse, and then beginning of March I'll wait for a period where I could get some rototilling done, and the minute I can get this stuff in the ground, I will. So there you go, planting onions and planting mushrooms from mycelium from the compost pile.